पूर्णमदमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवाननी जय। अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराजनी जय। गुणातीतानंद स्वामी महाराजनी जय। राधा कृष्ण देवनी जय। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवाननी जय। उमापति महादेवनी जय। गुरु हरि प्रमुख स्वामी महाराजनी जय। गुरु हरि महंत स्वामी महाराजनी जय। प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज शताब्दी महोत्सवनी जय। In the divine presence of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, in the equally divine presence of my Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj, in the presence of Guru Hari Mahant Swami Maharaj, in the presence of revered saints, and all the dignitaries and people who I cherish very deeply in my heart, in your presence, I also feel both humbled and privileged to be here on this occasion. First of all, let me start because as I was coming into this hall, again I saw hundreds and hundreds of people sitting in the hall outside. And I know there are people sitting everywhere. And I say this in all humility because I feel there are people sitting cross-legged in the halls, there are people standing. And my heart really reaches out to all of you because it's your love, it's your emotions, it's the welcome and the warmth that you give somebody that creates the environment for the spark of knowledge. You only learn from those whom you love. I can give you the best teachers, and I can give you the finest libraries. I can take you to sessions and places where everything is available at a finger touch. But if you don't love, you don't learn. So I believe the love that you have shown us is your love for my Guru, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and I truly, truly thank all of you for this evening. Just as Mukesh Bhai mentioned, and I also want to confess to you, but I should confess, that I hardly read Gujarati, and this is perhaps the first time I've ever read a poetry in Gujarati. It was Bapa's wish, Pramukh Swami's deep wish. He would always ask me, remind me. I remember many times when I was with him in meetings, and the moment I switched to English, he would tap me on my hand and said, Gujarati bol. So today, as I was reciting the poem, I was thinking of Bapa, how happy he would have been hearing me speak and reciting a poem in Gujarati. So once again, Mukesh Bhai, I love your innovations for roping me into and making me fall in love with the language which took a long, long time. Thank you again. Secondly, Mukesh Bhai was telling me this idea of time. I remember about 4 or 5 months ago, I was traveling somewhere, and Mukesh Bhai phoned me as he said, we are spending this week, and the idea is celebration because 60 years of AMA week, this has happened, so we want to create life a celebration. And he started telling me that, maybe you can take a topic of celebrating life with love, celebrating life with values, celebrating life with your family. I don't know why. And I have no reason, because there was no reason why I said time. Because I always felt that we always need to tell people that, okay, celebrate life by spending time with your family, spending time with your children, spending time with your friends, spending time with, thank you very much, Shreyas Bhai, you are here as well, with your, I'm so happy to see you as well. So spending time with the people you love, that would be the easiest way for me to talk about it. But that's not me. Because I have started thinking that when we are talking about celebrating life with time, there has to be something that we have not covered or examined or explored. And in the recent events, I can't take credit for the entire title. I said I'll do a topic on celebrating time, life with time. It is Mukesh Bhai who added the subline saying, cherishing the priceless moments of time. And when just recently, when my Guru Hari, he passed away from his earthly remains, I think there could have been no better topic for me to talk about this evening than celebrating life by cherishing the timeless moments of time. And I also want to tell you that, as Mukesh Bhai was saying, that some of us are too busy, so we have no time for celebration. The others who are so free have no cause for celebration. But most of us, as I want to tell you, are in the mid-path, unsure, dvidhama, uncertain, always wondering whether this was the right decision, was the right time, whether it should have been yes or no. I was just telling the guy who was sitting next to me today in the car, he's still in the middle of whether he should get married or not, whether the girl is right or not. I said, always say yes, because by the time you decide, she's already found somebody else. I am trying to tell you that most of us fall in the third category where we are always unsure. And because of that, we are never in time, never on time, and mostly off time. But have you ever wondered that most of our emotions, even prayers to God, this is an analysis which I have done offhand, this may not be foolproof, but this is an idea we should explore, but most of us, even our prayers, are packaged with time. Imagine, I'll take you on an imaginary journey. Imagine up in the sky, heavens above, there's a cave. It's crystal. The ceiling is transparent, the floor is transparent, the walls are transparent. And in that cave, there is a pool of water which is also transparent. Inside that pool of water, there are thousands and thousands and countless bubbles just coming up, coming up, coming up. Imagine this scenario. And if somebody tells you that these are the bubbles, which are the remains of a prayer said on this earth, we say our prayers and send them heavenwards. And all the prayers that come up and they pass through that pool, and these are the bubbles, and the remains of the prayers are what? Khabar chhe? Most of our prayers are, oh God, if I had just one more week for this exam, I would have done better. Oh God, my dad on his last days, please give him one more month. Oh God, if I was just 2 years younger, I could have got dependent visas for America. Oh God, if I was just 2 years older, I could have qualified for this exam. We keep telling every prayer. Now imagine, go back home and decide and ask, oh God, why did I get this misery so earlier on in life? Oh God, if there is another way, could I have just 10 more days with my family? Every prayer that you and me say, it has some dimension of time involved in it. Think about it. Whether we like it or not, we are bound by time in one way or another. And you know something? Life normally is very simple. You ask it a simple question, the answer you get back is always simple. But because of our ego and arrogance, we have a habit of asking complicated questions, and the answers we get back are more complicated. Thanks to us. Let me ask you a very simple question, very simple question. What time is it? Okay, you'll say 6:30. Simple answer. Let me just help you and complicate the issue. What time is it in London? 2 p.m. In Nairobi? 4 p.m. In New York? 9 a.m. In Hong Kong? 9 p.m. In Auckland? 1 a.m. Suddenly you realize that we all live at the same moment but in different time zones. Okay, let me make it a little more complex. What year is it? The Christians would say 2000 and then comes the Hindu and he will say it's 2072. Then comes the Muslims, they would say it's 1437. The Parsis would say it's 1586. Then come the Jains, with all their humility and non-violence, they would still say it's 2542. We don't just live in different time zones. By Jove, we live in different eras. I'm telling you. And it's not just a few years apart. In some cases, centuries apart. Let me still make you think that we talk by time, we live by time, our lives are dominated and dictated by time. And still we have no clue what time is. We really don't have a clue of what time is. Let's explore it a little more. The most celebrated day, because we are talking about celebrating life with time, the most celebrated day on this earth is not your birthday. Definitely not your anniversary. Because you keep forgetting and your wife has to remind you and then you have a fight about it. So it's a day to celebrate with a fight, right? So the most celebrated day perhaps is not the Independence Day. Because every country has their own Independence Day. But I think you may agree the most celebrated day on this earth would be the New Year's Day, right? Every culture, every country, every man or every person or every tribe celebrates the New Year. But look how complicated it is. I just want to really pin it through to you, very simple. Most of the Europeans, Western Europeans, they celebrate New Year in January. Fine. The Chinese come along, they say February. Vietnam and Korea, they celebrate it in February. Then Tibet, Iran, and Babylonia in the old times, they always celebrated the New Year in March. Then we've got April. Sri Lanka, Burma, and Thailand, and the Assyrians celebrated their New Year, and some do now in April. The Roman Empire, which combined or consisted of half of the earth, they celebrated the New Year in May. Then we've got June, Nigerians, isolated, but they celebrate the New Year in June. Then we've got our strong Kachis. They celebrated the New Year in July. Then we've got Parsis in August. Then we've got Jewish and Ethiopians in September. And we Hindus are very liberal, sometimes in October, sometimes in November. I am telling you, still wait for it. Then we have December. There is not a single month on this calendar where somewhere in the world nobody is celebrating a new year. I have not touched even the Aborigines, the Icelandic tribes, the Andamans, the Kalaharis. I have not touched even the smaller tribes who have their own traditions and cultures. But still think, we're talking about time, huh? Something we are so sure about, something we fight about, something